What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and obviously there are no shortage of reporters and analysts who are shilling for the likes of Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows. They desperately want Shadows to be a massive success. Take this article here from IGN as an example, where they say we shouldn't be comparing Assassin's Creed Shadows to Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
That's unfair!
Shut up, pussy.
But what is really rare is seeing an analyst of any kind who is willing to throw themselves out there and admit that maybe this game isn't doing that well, considering what this game represents. Assassin's Creed Shadows had a massive budget, and Ubisoft is banking on the sales of this game to save their company, and at least one analyst is coming out and admitting early on that maybe, just maybe, Shadows isn't the major savior that Ubisoft needed it to be. Under other circumstances, this game might have been considered a success. For a smaller studio, the numbers that we're seeing for this game would have been great, but considering everything riding on Shadows and the money being spent on it, it would seem that gamers have a declaration to make to Ubisoft.
You shall not make any damn money!
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you didn't do it yet, and also, don't forget to support the channel by becoming a member. There are exclusive projects that you don't want to miss out on that will be available to members only coming soon, including audiobook of my dark fantasy novels and a cartoon. There will be more information soon, but it occurs to me that we can't just point out the things that we don't like in our culture. We have to push the things that we do like. So, if you're interested in supporting that sort of thing, consider becoming a member of the channel. Anyhow, let's talk about the expectations of Assassin's Creed Shadows and how the game does not appear to have met them. For anyone who doesn't know, Ubisoft is in a financial bind. They have been spending exorbitant amounts of money and getting poor to lukewarm responses from gamers for years now, leading them to lay off a shitload of employees. Despite owning some extremely iconic franchises, they just haven't been able to turn a profit for a long time. In fact, this decade has been extremely difficult for Ubisoft. During the first 5 years of the 2020s, they have failed to turn any kind of profit at all, which is why their stock value has cratered. As I've said many times on the channel before, 2024 was supposed to be their big year. All of the money that they had spent was supposed to be leading up to 2024. Skull and Bones, X-Defiant, Star Wars Outlaws, and Assassin's Creed Shadows were all coming out in 2024, and they were supposed to change the fortunes of the company. But the first 3 of those games flopped in about the worst ways possible, and they ended up pushing back Assassin's Creed Shadows from November to just a couple days ago. They have been teetering on the edge of bankruptcy, flirting with the idea of selling their IPs off, and now Ubisoft and their media mouthpieces are doing everything in their power to make sure that everyone sees their last-ditch effort, Assassin's Creed Shadows, as a great success. The last thing they can afford is for people to perceive it as a failure. Their last major game, Star Wars Outlaws, was seen as a flop immediately, and the company's stock dropped like a rock. If that happened again, that would probably be it. Ubisoft would be toast. This is why it's so difficult to find analysis like this from the outlet PC Games N, link in the description. We've heard from the Ubisoft shills ad nauseum telling us why the game is a success actually. Let's read what someone else has to say. The article says, many speculated that Assassin's Creed Shadows would be one of the best-selling games in the entire series thanks to its intense marketing, novel dual protagonist approach, and long-requested feudal Japan setting. With Ubisoft announcing that it's reached 2 million players already, that speculation appears to have been well-founded, despite some really encouraging sales and engagement numbers, both officially revealed and reported. A top analyst now claims that its strong performance may not be strong enough, saying that Shadows isn't the smash hit Ubisoft desperately needs. We're going to skip past a little bit in the article where they simply describe the game and go to here, where it says, Media Research's Reese Elliott says that the numbers do not reflect the smash hit Ubisoft desperately needs, and predicts that given the scope and development time of Assassin's Creed Shadows, the title has almost certainly not broken even yet. While launching on Steam straight away was certainly a boon for the game, Elliott compares Shadows' numbers on the platform to the port of Ghost of Tsushima, which treads on similar ground to the new Assassin's Creed. Despite it being a port of a then 4-year-old game, Ghost of Tsushima sold roughly twice as many copies on Steam at launch than Shadows, according to data pulled from Analyst. Assassin's Creed Shadows Steam sales also pale in comparison to some of 2025's true mega hits so far. 3 days after launch, Shadows has apparently sold 310,000 copies. In a similar time frame, Split Fiction shifted 882,500 units on Steam, and the gargantuan Monster Hunter Wilds sold almost 10 times better than Shadows with 3.7 million units, according to Alania's data. So, at least this one person isn't propping up Ubisoft and is talking numbers instead of talking shit. Shadows should have been able to hit Ghost of Tsushima type numbers on Steam, especially since Tsushima's Steam release was so belated. But the same people who bought Ghost of Tsushima did not turn out for Assassin's Creed Shadows. It seems that chasing after the modern audience drove a lot of gamers away. It is quite likely that Shadows has broken the 1 million copies sold barrier by now, but it is quite telling that, at least at this point, the Assassin's Creed X account still hasn't made an announcement about that yet. Either it hasn't actually happened, or they don't want to break the illusion that they tried to conjure with the Ubisoft defenders out there, those hapless fools who read Ubisoft's announcement about 2 million players and started acting as though that meant sales. But the thing is, at this point, unless the numbers really start to pick up, Shadows is going to go down as a massive financial flop. As the analyst from this article said, due to the development time on this game, Shadows cost a ton of money to make. Star Wars Outlaws reportedly cost $250 million before factoring in marketing. Shadows is expected to have cost more or at least the same. Once you add in the marketing costs, Shadows will need to sell a whopping 6 to 8 million copies at full price to break even on this game. And the thing is, when we look at a game like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that cost, in comparison, roughly $150 million. So there really is no comparison. Shadows is likely costing almost double what Valhalla cost, and they aren't hitting the same sales numbers. Shadows took what should have been an easy home run with an Assassin's Creed finally set in feudal Japan, and they turned it into a single or a double. And to make matters worse, Ubisoft needed a grand slam in order to just stay afloat, and from the looks of things, that just isn't happening. But I'm going to leave it there. Drop your mockery of Ubisoft and their defenders into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of of booty.